Baking and yeast. Click to add title. Does the amount of yeast used when baking bread affect how much it will rise? Method and M. Equipment. Observations. Conclusion. Charts. What's next? Background. Info. Hypothesis. What does yeast do to bread? Background info. Yeast are fungi. Yeast cells are very small and can only be seen with a microscope. Yeast digests sugar to cause bread dough to rise. Hypothesis. I think that the bread with less yeast will not grow as big as the bread with full yeast, and have the amount of yeast. Method. This is the bread recipe that I followed. 1 cups water, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon sugar, 3 2/3 cups white flour, 1/2 teaspoon yeast. Measure ingredients in the order listed into the baking pan. Insert the baking pan securely into unit, close lid. Select French bread setting in 2.0 pounds. Loaf setting. Choose light, medium or dark crust setting. Push start button. Recipe takes 3 hours, 45 minutes. Method. 1. Wash hands. 2. Measure ingredients into loaf pan of bread machine to make control loaf of bread. Add the full amount of all ingredients for this loaf. 3. Allow bread to bake in bread machine. Record any observations while the bread is baking. Method. 4. Take bread out of bread machine and measure how tall, wide and deep the loaf is. 5. Slice the bread and do a taste test. 6. Clean up work area. Method. 7. Repeat steps 1-6 to make second loaf of bread. Only use half the amount, 3/4 teaspoon, of yeast for this loaf. 8. Repeat steps 1-6 to make third loaf of bread. Do not use any yeast for this loaf. Equipment. Bread machine. Water. Salt. Sugar. Flour. Yeast. Bread recipe. Ruler. Observations. Loaf 1. Control loaf. Full amount of yeast. 9:40 a.m. Just started. A white ball. 10:45 a.m. The dough is rolling, smells like bread. Looks white. 1:45 p.m. The bread got really tall, it smells sweet. The bread is golden, it tastes good. The outside of the bread was crunchy, but the inside was soft. The bread was 19.5 centimeters tall, 12.5 centimeters deep, and 17 centimeters wide. Observations. Loaf 2 half amount of yeast. 9:40 a.m. Just started. A white ball. 10:40 a.m. The dough is spinning, smells good. Small ball of dough. 1:45 p.m. The bread is golden, it smells good. The bread isn't as tall as the first loaf. It still tastes good, but not quite as good as loaf 1. The outside of the bread was crunchy, but the inside was soft. The bread was 15 centimeters tall, 12.5 centimeters deep, and 17 centimeters wide. Observations. Loaf 3 no yeast. 9:40 a.m. Just started. A white ball. 10:45 a.m. The dough is rolling, no smell. Looks white. 1:45 p.m. The bread did not get very tall at all, it hardly has a smell. The dough did not fill the bottom of the pan. The bottom and sides of the bread were brown, but the top stayed white. The outside was hard, but it was very doughy and chewy on the inside, tasted floury. The bread was 7.5 centimeters tall, 12.5 centimeters deep, and 14.5 centimeters wide at the front of the pan and 9 centimeters wide at the back of the pan. Charts and graphs. Click to add text.
This just shows the height of the bread. So the first loaf was 19 centimeters. The second loaf was 15 and the other one was only 9. And these are just some pictures.
Pictures and videos. Click to add text.
Having a slice of bread after our first loaf. And then this picture
Pictures
here,
and videos. Click to add text.
this is the first first loaf in the pan and out of the pan. And this is our second loaf.
Pictures and videos. Click to add
And
text.
so this one didn't quite come to the top of the pan, where the one above, the first loaf,
Pictures and videos. Click to add text.
And then, yeah, that's the last one that had no roof. Okay, so this isn't gonna work, I guess. It's just, Memphis was doing a taste test on the bread here. And it was the last loaf, so it was really doughy on the inside, and it didn't really taste very good, so.
We shouldn't get food poisoning.
Yeah, we only ate just a little bit because it was not.
I discovered that my hypothesis was correct. Bread does not rise as much with less yeast. Sources: https redstcomsceyestwystw.
Okay, so any questions for Memphis?
Do you like sandwich bread?
Do you have bread at home?
Awesome. Yay, Memphis!